Hey everybody. So, with love, I'm going to share a message from us over here on the West Coast at the Banff News Network, and it's going to come at you simply about the upcoming election. We have Kamala Harris, the current Vice President of the United States, running against the former President of the United States, Donald Trump. Disclaimer, 2016, I did not vote for Donald Trump. I wrote in the governor from Ohio, John Kasich. However, after the first year of Trump's presidency and him not taking a dollar from the American people and doing the job efficiently, especially with the Secretary of Defense as a military person and a supporter of our veterans, it was a really, really prosperous time. And I can measure that down to family members in the Bay that had job progression, upward mobility, and were able to travel easily because expense was down. Versus somehow Joe Biden and the current Vice President, Kamala Harris, have been able to take away years of public interest by allowing COVID to continue. They propped up humongous funds that were dissolved into people's accounts. They used Trump policies that drove our country upside down. That didn't stop them before this administration with the current Congress. Like, we went through speakers of the House because we were sending billions of dollars into just the war machine during this administration. And the saddest part was that even though this administration had all that money to spend in foreign countries, they then allowed all these disrupt and chaotic places. I don't even want to call some of the places that people migrated from actual countries, because some of those countries are so bad that the humanitarian crisis requires people to leave. Like, it's not just seeking refugees. It's worse than that. There's nothing there. The government is run by gangs. But there's a right way to do it, so they can come here and get the good of America and prosper like so many other people before them have, especially from torn places. However, because of the policy that was in place, we now have like a low-key another type of citizen, another class of humans inside of America, and we don't even know what to do with them because of this administration, which is going to cost phenomenal amounts of money. So if we're looking at the current administration's broader and bigger agenda, we can almost see that the trillions of dollars that we are in debt, negative already, doesn't even matter. There's statistics that show our interest, the interest from our debt, like your credit card interest that they expect you to pay back every month, annually, the nation's interest will be more than our entire defense budget for a certain period of time. That means every single uniform, every single recruit, every single training missile, every single execution of movement across the globe in space, the interest from our debt will be larger. Looking towards the future, it's drastically important to realize that the choice, whether you're young, old, from America or not, if you're trying to vote, which you should be a citizen, to participate in our democratic republic, you need to actually think about what freedom is and what one party actually represents currently. A party of censorship. Let's just say we have a constitution of free speech. A party of, we need to take measures against people trying to protect themselves from tyranny. People who don't feel like here's one. You have a right to safety. And the idea of not even someone from Latin America, because that's one of those places that's in chaos, that people need to come to America and build better lives here. There's much better lives here for them if they're running from one of these institutions. But imagine someone from communist China, someone from China migrating into America. They're like, you know what? China's so bad, I gotta bounce. Imagine hundreds of thousands of them. Hundreds of thousands of very, very capable, very trained, probably highly IQ'd individuals ready to accomplish what they came here to do, which was assimilate, not take our culture in, but their culture's ingrained in them, which, maybe they get a bite of some freedom and democracy and they're like, man, no wonder the Republicans fought to free the slaves. No wonder. Oh, let's just go back. No wonder these people fought against taxes. No wonder these people fought to free the slaves. No wonder these people put an end to Nazi Germany. No wonder these people did all these things for the world, because we have a moral compass. We have a nation under God, not a dragon. It's a nation under God. And because of that, we'll just say everybody's imperfect. So let's just say everybody that I just listed, all those policies are just imperfect and they're okay to be people. But if we look at the other side and it's like, hey, we want to have this utopia of wonderful energy, but in order to get there, we have to pay this debt down. In order to get there, we have to stop spending so damn much. In order to get there as a country, we have to use our resources. In order to get there, we have to make sure that the safety of our citizens, the freedom of their speech, their rights under our Constitution are protected. That includes the rights of the states to have the laws of their electorate. If you live in a state like I do, where the weather is fabulous and everything's peachy every single day besides traffic and our politics, because here it's an autocracy, so it's like everything's automatically done, everything's automatically pushed through. There's not a time when something that gets brought up on the floor that's supposed to pass doesn't get passed through, so if it's like reparations for black people, probably won't happen. But if it's like reparations for, or the opportunity for people that they need in the future to vote for them, because they've already solidified the people that are going to vote for them for the rest of their lives. They know that because of where they live. You're a product of your environment, and people can come to grips with that or change their stars, which this isn't a lecture about that. You have this opposite side, though, not California, of people that believe in freedom, people that believe in individual autonomy, like you can do your own thing. The idea of not having the government, which is supposed to protect you, be the one regulating you and restricting you to the point where they fit you into a box, they fit you into a suit, they fit you into a place. that place is now where they want you, more or less, or where your environment has led you. You know, how much of their system have you bought into? How much have they been able to instruct you? How much control are you willing to give them? Or you take a chance, which, here, I'm going to say this flat out. I don't know, when Donald Trump is done being president, why we haven't had just a different Republican, maybe J.D. Vance, his vice president's a shoe-in for later, but just somebody else in America stand up and say, hey, I can enforce all of this stuff that Trump's about to say and do because it's the right thing to do. And you know what? Maybe Trump's just the guy right now because a lot of people know him and that those votes might go to him. I can't even begin to describe how the media has blown over the fact that yes, it's a big deal. It should always be a big deal. It should be a big deal for the rest of history. But the former president was almost assassinated. And do you know, by some BlackRock, individual, like the story's not even that deep. It was real quick that this person has really weird ties. Not saying that that's exclusive. I just know I don't. I just know that if that lady that was behind Trump with her little camera, smiling like she didn't know what was going on, hasn't been investigated to the teeth, I don't know who else would be too, Also, to find a policy that Miss Harris has that she could invoke right now, or why didn't she invoke it? Why hasn't she worked it out with the POTUS? Or the idea of these billionaires in these boxes, which you'll never see, these faces you'll never hear of, people past which you don't know, and this person that they're pitting on the stage, these millions of dollars going into the idea of this person running a free country, representing you, the people, not them. Or you got this guy who could probably be on a yacht, for sure playing golf on his own golf course, risking a lot, taking nothing, and now at the point where it's proven he's delivered, and not in like a Burisma way with Hunter Biden and Joe Biden, like not in like a corrupt way of using power, but like a way of the Abraham Accord. That's like a Nobel Peace Prize that this man hasn't got yet. Donald Trump, with all of his pride and know-how, he stepped the fuck out the way for Dr. Fauci. And, Dr. Fauci on the 1 yard line fucking failed. Like, you created the virus and then you told us to take all this bullshit that you knew didn't fucking matter because it was just a flu-style virus. But then, Joe Biden became president. Yeah, kind of weird how that happened. Oh, this message from Zuckerberg, I hope you guys are reading it. The idea of our democracy being under siege is far from fantasy. The idea of hundreds of thousands of people pouring into our country from places we'll never know with purposes and ideas that may not be the same as our cultures. Here's an example I gave somebody else about my issue with illegal immigration. Like I said, I don't have a problem with somebody seeking a better life or running away from chaos. That's not it. But imagine you're a rapist of children. You're fucking the worst. Even prisoners in America will kill you when they find out you are one of those fucking people. You're the worst humans on earth. But let's say you come from a country where 14 is the legal age of marriage, dude. And at 14, a girl could come onto you and they'd kill her if you, that's what the courts would do, you know, in these countries. But you come in from this fucking place and then you break the law here in a harmful way. That shit that you think was okay in your country because you don't know our moral compass here, that we live in a country where that human has the rights forever of protection from you. And that's a huge issue for me. It's a huge problem I have. It's not the people that are coming over and they make it by God's grace, because that's God's beautiful. God's awesome. God is good. And the love, like I started this with, is the important thing that I want you to understand and take away from this. If we don't have us, a people that know we are always changing, we're always growing, we're always adapting, and we just have people that want to destroy us, then slowly from the inside, that's what will happen. But when you're looking at the future and your vote, please take a second. Put your, I don't even know what to call it, pride, arrogance. Put your arrogance aside. Look at the facts before you and call your electorate and be like, hey, make sure you got my vote right, because I'm putting it in here that I'm voting on policy, not the person, because even the other person on the other side isn't that great, but that's always the case. But policy. Good luck.